I just talked to Coach. He said, because right now y'all are one of the best three-point shooting teams in the nation. Y'all are averaging about 18 threes a game. He said y'all can get up to 30. Do you think that's an attainable number? And what do you feel comfortable with just shooting more threes?
Well, I'm not going to say no to shooting more threes. But, yeah, if he could say we get to 30, then, I believe him. I think we get to 30. I just think, we have two dynamic guards with PJ and Reese who like to get downhill. Then we got Dane in the post. But, I think for us it's just a matter of just depending on the game. If our guards feel like they can get downhill, then, they're going to do that. And if teams give us threes, then we're going to take that as well. So I think it's just situational. So, yeah.
I got a two-parter for you. First, on your defense, how good you feel your defense has elevated since the beginning of the season?
I think I made strides in it. I think there's still some things that I can get better at with the fouling, things like that, reaching, things like that, being more disciplined, being more solid. But I think for me overall, I wanted to increase my defense. I wanted to show people that, I can guard and that I want to guard. So, I think I've taken great strides in it. Actually, I think I keep working on it.
Second part, how would you rate Dane Danger's passing ability?
Yeah, I think Dane, sometimes I think he looks to pass a little too much. But he's a good passer, so I understand it. But sometimes I think Dane is just good offensively as well, that he can just go score the ball. But as a big, for a passing big, I think Dane is really exceptional with that. I think especially when we run him and Musa together, he's good in that high-low situation or playing out of short rolls, things like that. So, yeah, Dane can definitely pass the ball better than most bigs I've seen, probably better than, one of the best bigs in the country that can do that.
You guys missing the Maui rims at all yet, you think?
Those rims are definitely different than our rims for sure. But, yeah, it is what it is. Now we got to turn the page, so.
Obviously, you hit that, that three with 55 seconds left that, kind of put the game out of reach. Is that something that, you're looking to do, be kind of a closer for the team? Obviously, Tyrese and PJ have mainly taken that role throughout the season thus far, but, it kind of got to be you tonight. What was that like for you?
Yeah, I just try to do everything that is asked of me, and what's asked of me is to be able to make shots when called upon. So I just try to make sure that I'm, locked in and rhythm of the game, and just make sure that when the ball finds me, I'm ready to shoot. So whether it's like a shot today or first half or middle of the game, whatever, my main thing is just to make sure I'm ready, because obviously, those opportunities may not come, they may come. Just got to be ready to make that play. That's just what I want to pride myself on now.
Did after Maui, did you have a bunch of text messages and stuff like getting back after Thanksgiving? You guys get ranked, you get the big wins and those sorts of things. Did you have a bunch of text messages? And
I did get a lot of support from family and friends and people that follow Memphis basketball. Obviously, we kind of put the world on notice in Maui. Fans and everything like that wanted to reach out. So yeah, I did get a lot of texts, a lot of calls, a lot of Instagram stuff, things like that.
Is it hard to compartmentalize that, especially after, the long extended road trip and then the holiday and all that stuff? Is it hard to kind of set that to the side and turn, like you said, turn the page? And
I think human nature kind of makes it a little difficult because you want to be rewarded for when you do good things. But I just think, when it comes to stuff like this, I kind of got a sense of maturity, like, okay, that's step one. Now we got to move on to step two, which is making sure that we continue to, win these games in this month. So, obviously with human nature, you kind of can get caught up in that if you allow yourself to. But with me being an older guy, for me, and not normally having this type of, status from my last schools, for me it was kind of new. So a lot of times I'm just surprised to hear from certain people, hear from certain, for me, I can't really speak on the other guys. But, you can get caught up in it, but I think, if we need to be mature and just turn the page with that.
And to kind of keep on that same note, obviously being at other programs and knowing what Memphis is, especially playing in the American, how are you going to help your guys in practice go about knowing that this team has a huge target on its back the rest of the way?
Just reiterating the message of that, we are now the hunted. We're not the hunter now, so that's a total different mindset to have. So we're going to get every team's best shot moving forward. And knowing that, we got to make sure that we step on the gas, we do things even more at a higher level, do the small things at an even higher level. Everything just has to kind of intensify and, just move upwards in that direction. I think for me, it's just a matter of just being consistent, making sure that, I bring it every day, because I can only control what I can control. But if guys are looking at me and I'm bringing it every day, hopefully it rubs off on them. So I think for us, it's just obviously we got to up the intensity as well, but just remain consistent.
Colby, the Maui hangover or whatever you want to call it, you're in this beautiful place, you're playing blue blood programs, UConn, Michigan State, Auburn. Is it tough to kind of get back in the day-to-day grind here and get hyped up for a midweek game against Louisiana Tech and just kind of like get back in that mindset?
Yeah, for some you could say it's tough. Obviously, I would look at it like if you go on vacation for a week and then you come back home, now you got to go for work. Obviously, it's not the same kind of enthusiasm per se. Like Coach Nolan told us today, human nature just kind of got the best of us. But luckily we came out with the win. And I think for us, it's just a learning curve for us. Obviously, we're still, we just got together like a couple months ago. So these type of things can happen. But I just think, we can learn from it. And moving forward, we got to make sure that, when we have moments like this, we lock back in and just get back to doing what we, are known to do, what we hold ourselves to, just hold each other accountable. So, obviously with human nature and things like that, that stuff can't happen. But, we just got to learn from it and move forward.
Colby, in the back, Penny said that after what he's seen from y'all through the first 8 games, that he believes y'all have the potential to be a top 5 defensive team in the country. Do you believe that as well, and why?
Yes, I do believe that as well. I think we have a lot of length, athleticism, size, and I think we mix up defenses a lot. We'll press a little bit, we'll trap a little bit, we'll go zone a little bit, then we'll go straight man. We'll switch 1 through 5. Our versatility defensively really helps us. I think it just matters us staying locked in for 40 minutes, knowing the scout. Just continue to make strides in that direction. I think we can definitely get to a top 5 team defensively. Just got to keep working at it.
Couple more from me. What kind of have you and Tyrese and PJ reached your full potential? Like how seems like you guys have a pretty high ceiling, like as a sort of a 3-headed monster.
Yeah, I wouldn't say reached our full potential. I think we still have a lot more to reach. I think right now we've kind of found a little rhythm together. We kind of felt everything out. I think the 2 exhibition games start the season really helped us learn each other because we've never played together. And then, to learn on the fly is kind of hard. But I think we made great strides in that, but I think we have another level to get to. And I think we can bring other guys along with us as well. I think it's just a matter of just continue to work, continue to talk, continue to stay in the gym, continue to be consistent, and eventually we'll get there.
And then would you say, there's been a lot of talk about human nature, would you say that's probably the biggest obstacle from the team's perspective?
Yeah, realistically speaking, I think coming off of Maui for a game like this, it kind of got the best of us tonight. But then again, we pulled the win out. Now we just got to learn from it, watch film, get back in the gym, kind of turn the page, flush all that out, and really get back in that mindset of, we're being hunted, but we got to, stay as if like we're hunting just because we know now we're going to get every team's best shot. And for us, we don't have as much, I would say, leeway as other teams, so we have to just be perfect with things like that.
Colby, I got 2 quick ones for you, but Penny mentioned the value of you and PJ and others having played in this conference, having played in the AAC, and obviously there being a whole lot of Louisiana Techs, in the AAC. What can you tell your teammates that haven't been in this league about what kind of focus it takes, even when the opponent's name isn't, UConn or Michigan State or Auburn or whatever?
Yeah, it takes focus as if we're playing UConn or teams like that. Obviously, any team can be beaten on any day, and we have to know that is a possibility if, you come out there and you're lackadaisical or you take a team for granted. So I think, I just reiterate the message of, we have to be on point. We can't have no slippage. We can't allow teams to get confidence and things like that when we have opportunity to keep our foot on the gas, which I think we'll get better at for sure. I just think, it was just one of those days where it kind of just got the best of us. But, with the guys we have coming in, a lot of them played high major basketball, so they know what it's like to lock in on that type of level. So I think the transition will be good for us.
And speaking of kind of keeping your foot on the gas, like it seemed like in the first half and especially in the second when Tyrese hit that three-pointer with 11, 12 minutes to go, they all were going to kind of run away with the game and put it away. What did Louisiana Tech do defensively that had y'all in a dry spell both those times and allowed them to claw their way back?
Yeah, I think one time they had went zone, which kind of messed up our rhythm a little bit because it kind of just messed things up per se. And I think they hit a shot on the other end that kind of like stopped the run we were about to make. So for us, I think we just got to, for one, get a stop on that end. And then two, just make sure that, if a team is going to go zone, we just get to our stuff a little bit quicker. Don't take so long to get into it, and I think we'll be fine.
When we were talking on the golf course back in August, one of the things that you kind of noted was that, you were able to kind of observe, what was happening with Memphis last year and what went wrong and things like that. And, their collapse, it kind of started with, games like this against, teams perceived to be lesser or whatever else. Obviously you weren't here last year, but, what do you take, from the lessons of that, based off of what you saw to prevent a similar, downturn from happening this year?
Yeah, well, Penny harps a lot about just staying together, blocking the outside noise and making sure that regardless of what happens, we come together. We don't spread out. We don't separate. And I think we've kind of bought into that. I think we kind of lean on each other for in tough moments. And I think, as long as we stay with that, we'll be fine. I just think we just can't allow, outside forces to creep in and mess up what we're building. And I think as long as we believe in that, we'll be good.